Okay. Hello, friends. We are here today, joined by very esteemed personality, Dr. Trupti Bhatt. She explained her life in just one word. It would be a healer. Her entire life process has been about healing. People's problem, people's issues, and whatever their ordeals are. She started from as a homeopathic expert, and then ventured into various other modes of healing. And today, she has reached a stage where she's part of so many ventures, so many new evolutions. And we are just happy to introduce you to Dr. Trupti Bhatt. Thank you for joining us on this special evening. And how did the healing just happen? It's something that we would all like to hear from you.
So thank you so much, Harit, again for inviting me here.
So I would like to understand first, how did homeopathic take place? And was always healing your life purpose, or it just happened to be?
The recovery is always by treating roots of any problems, not just diseases, but any problems, mental, emotional, psychological, anything. If we treat the root cause of any problem, so since the age of 5 to 6, I was not playing with dolls. And I was playing with small bottles. And I was filling up that talcum powder in that and adding water into that. And that was my medicine. And I used to give my toys injections and all that. And my friends, they used to come to me and they were saying that their dolls are having fever. So I used to treat them, without knowing anything what this means. So जब से मैंने होश संभाला, तब से यही अंदर चाह रही मेरी कि मुझे ट्रीट करना है. And that thought became so strong as I grow up. And till puberty, that was a strong aim of my life to become a doctor. And then also I was not knowing what stream I would like to. After becoming a doctor, it was very difficult for me to survive with homeopathy, job of intensivist. And I was treating patients in ICU. And that story was going on. And I was for my rounds. Patients used to wait for me to just talk with me. And morning rounds were happening. And at one point, one person came to me and he offered me the post of homeopathic consultant in one seva institute, service institute. So immediately, without thinking having a second thought, and I just gave up with the intensivist job. And after that, I'm having a 30 years of homeopathic practice now. And in my 30 years of practice, I have treated many chronic diseases, many patients of skin, arthritis, many. And I'm very happy to treat those patients at the root level.
That's so insightful. And, I have personal experiences of this in my family, where you have done wonders, with your homeopathic medicine, which we had kind of given up hope that this is not going to be possible. This is going to remain there forever. But as you rightly said, treating the roots, and roots are so important. But a lot of time we don't understand what these roots are. We don't understand what that base is all about. And to get to the root of the problem is something we would like to understand from you. How did art of living helped you in that? And what is that combination of medicine and your other healing processes that you have taken up to? And how does it help you to identify, okay, this is the root problem? How do you understand that this is the root problem?
Yes. So first of all, I would like to say roots means always a starting points. So logic means definition or any explanation that I wanted from everything. And with the Reiki learning and with the practice of Reiki for years together, I completely understand what is energy and how I can heal everyone with that energy field. And after practicing of Reiki for 7, 8 years, there's one more point milestone came in my life where art of living came in my life. And in 2004, I did my first basic art of living course and first experience of Sudarshan Kriya. And that changed my life completely. The Reiki experience was still not complete. I was looking and I was searching for something more. I was always having that thought कि नहीं इससे भी कुछ ज्यादा है. Something I was seeking, some guidance or some grace. And at that point, I was not knowing what is grace. है ना, कृपा क्या होती है मुझे नहीं पता था क्योंकि अभी भी माइंड तो लॉजिक में ही चल रहा था. But at that moment, Guruji Sri Ravi Shankar came in my life. And after doing basic course, I attended few advanced courses also. And doing all these services and all following all the slowly and steadily, I saw the transformation was happening in my mind and body. Before doing this course, I was very short temper and anger person. And at one point, if I say my kids were 5 and 3. My son was 5 years old and my daughter was 3 years old. And they were very naughty. They were teasing me so much. And I have to handle everything by myself, my career, my Reiki practice, and kids. So it was very difficult task for me. And one day, I just holded TV and throw it on the floor. ना टीवी को फेंक दिया था मैंने जमीन पर, गुस्से से इतना तोड़ दिया था, इतना गुस्सा था. और आजू बाजू वाले लोग भी कभी कभी तो बोलते थे कि क्या कर रहे हो आप, कितना चिल्ला रहे हो बच्चों पे, ये अच्छा नहीं है. The neighbors are always a mother to you. They will always come with advices. So I used to get more angry to them. And after doing this Art of Living course and practicing Sudarshan Kriya regularly, slowly and steadily anger went away. मुझे पता ही नहीं चला कि कब कैसे मैं धीरे धीरे शांत होने लगी. And seeing this transformation in me, my husband was also very much impressed. And he also enrolled himself for Art of Living course. And after a few years of that practice, my kids were saying in a funny mode that Mama, ये अच्छा हुआ आपने ये कोर्स किया, तो अब हम खुल के मस्ती कर सकते हैं और आप गुस्से भी नहीं होते.
Nice.
After doing this is now 17 years I did my course and I became Art of Living teacher. And I saw that now it takes efforts for me to become angry. It's अपने आप ही गुस्सा किए बिना अपने आप जो desired results है वो होने लगता. And in that also, I feel that healing is happening with the grace and energy.
Right. That's really interesting to understand. Can you share some of your most memorable experiences as an Art of Living teacher or as a homeopath or anything, something which is very close to your heart,
Yes.
something that you often recall?
In Art of Living, many people, they were sharing Guru stories. So I was not so much into Guru stories and all, but the most emotional and touchy moment of my life was we four were traveling on Gujarat highway and we met with an accident. We were traveling by car and we were returning from Madhapur to Mumbai. So it was a long journey. So initially, for 2 to 3 hours, me and my daughter was driving on the highway, and we were very fine. But in the Rajkot, we were tired, and we asked my husband to drive. So he took over, and after 15-20 minutes, नियर चोटीला, हमारी जो कार चल रही थी उसकी एकदम स्पीड ही बदल गई, एंड brakes were not working properly. So before we come to know that oil was there on the floor, the car was completely out of control, and it started banging, on the two sides of the road, right side with the car, another car, and left side with the truck.
Oh,
So, and my kids were, before 10 minutes of happening this, they were sleeping. And before we understand anything, the banging was completely started, back to back, right side, left side, right side. And I just saw my kids turn my face, and I just saw them. I don't know what's going to happen. And maybe I'm seeing them for the last time. And that was happening inside my mind. But one thing I was noticing during that also, me and my husband was completely calm. There was no panic. There was no chillam chilli, nothing. We were so calm, and I was just praying, Guruji. Okay, now we are surrendered. Whatever is happening, we are surrendered. And after that, just a one stroke, my husband purpose, there was no other way to just struck with that truck. No, the banging on that truck, and our car stopped completely, and all our glasses, कांच सब बारी के फूट गए. My car was 100% in loss, and car doors were not opening, and we were shocked completely. And after 5-7 minutes, we just somehow we could come out of car, and we could see that we four were completely saved. In this major accident event, we all four had no injuries. Car was completely gone, but we four were saved, completely saved. There was not a single scratch on all four of us. So I believe that was a complete grace, and Guruji was completely with us to save us. This is a major touching moment. There are so many touching moments, but this I wanted to share with you. And so my master is always there, and we feel always there is a safety suraksha kavach hamesha hamare saath bana hota hai. So that is the presence of master.
Right. That's really, an amazing story to understand, and how unscratched you guys were out of that accident. Where you said that spirituality happened by chance. You were never a spiritual person before that.
Yes.
Did you also believe in in gurus, and were you always inclined towards that, or again that also happened by chance?
I would say I was never a guru person. In fact, my family were believing in so much, but I was never. किसी के पास जाके bow down करना, अंदर से कुछ feelings ना हो फिर भी बाहर से करना, that was not me. I always felt that कि अंदर कुछ है तो ही बाहर हो सकता है. If everything is just outside, then it is just a दिखावा type of things, But धीरे धीरे ये सारी प्रैक्टिस करते करते मुझे ये तो पक्का हो गया कि we don't choose Guru. But when you are ready, then Guru comes in your life and he chooses you. ये definitely हमारी पात्रता के ऊपर ये always depend करता है कि when Guru comes in your life and when you start transforming and you feel all the experiences of spirituality. But I was always keen to have a wisdom of our scriptures. मुझे पहले से ही, बहुत मैं छोटी थी तब से ही, I always wanted to understand the philosophy of our wisdom. philosophy of our scriptures, not just the reading, but philosophy, depth of that, everything. And the most close to my heart is Patanjali Yoga Sutra. In
I
coming to
was just going to come on that, about the yoga transformation, we can say, that happened in your life. And from what I understand, the amount of dedication that you have put in to become that yoga teacher initially, and now, one of the most renowned teachers in India, and doing some wonderful work online, offline, wherever. And now your daughter also,
yes.
getting really enthusiastic about yoga and doing some amazing stuff. Can you just tell us how yoga started with you, or again by chance?
No, it's not by chance, because I would definitely say this um, strong inclination to learn Patanjali Yoga Sutra came from my master, from Guruji. I always, I was always listening to him for all the commentaries, whatever he has given on scriptures. And most loved is Patanjali Yoga Sutra. From listening Patanjali Yoga Sutra since 10 years, there was always wish inside me that I want to learn Yoga Sutra, all the 4 chapters thoroughly. I did my Srisha Yoga training, teacher's training 10 years back. I undergone 900 hours teacher's training in Advance Yoga, and 49 at that time. And
Wow.
to start a journey as a yoga teacher at 49, that was itself was a task, because in that 3 months, it was 3 months training, and there were 72 students, more than 50 years. So that was also a task, and learning this advanced asanas, that was also a task. But with dedication, I kept walking on, and I finished my training. And after practicing for 2 years continuous, all the asanas, all the meditations, all the pranayama, came to know the meaning of yoga. Now in the market, yoga is just the physical. Sure, आपको पतला होना है तो योगा करिए, अच्छा दिखना है तो योगा करिए, और that was all physical. But for me, yoga was always the samadhi experience, that Ashtang Yoga. I follow that 8 limbs of yoga, in that yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, and dhyan and samadhi. So yam, niyam, I could notice that I was practicing since many years before coming into actual yoga, and I could know that, yes, this is my path. This is the thing I always wanted to learn. But I started my journey as a yoga teacher and practicing all the Ashtang Yoga and Patanjali Yoga Sutra in more details. I'm really enjoying my life thoroughly, and I could understand the meaning of yoga. This 2 years of COVID helped me a lot, because everything was stuck, nothing was happening. But I started pranayam workshop online, and for 2 years continuously, I was giving free pranayam workshops. Many people, they came and joined with me, and they enjoyed so much, and they were relaxed in those COVID days. And that was the biggest achievement, I can say, that I could reach to so many people to ease their pain, emotional and physical, through yoga. And just seeing me, my daughter is also got interested so much into yoga, and she also finished this 900 hours training. and now she's doing excellent in yogic path. And one more thing I would like to say, during those 3 months, basically many times I was frustrated, and I was not liking those tough training. But one angel was there, our yoga guru, Anil Chandran was my yoga guru. And Mr. Anil Chandran was the best teacher I could say in the world, that because of him I could finish my training, and still I am continuing my journey with him. I am learning with him, and my daughter is also getting training under him. And he's our angel to move more deeply in this path. And I would dedicate my yoga journey to Mr. Anil Chandran.
Wow. Okay, but just as a lay person, to understand, all these things, sometimes, with your work life, with your regular routine life, how do you kind of manage these things? Like, say for example, you learn art of living, you learn, or say you learn something else, you learn your pranayams, you learn yoga. But I see people doing it for a moment and then they're completely out of it. I mean, why do these things happen? And is it so difficult for you to do it every day? Like, is it such a big task that people quit early, or they take in early and they just leave it early? If, or are there too many options for people to be confused, or to understand which one to go for or what to do? So can you just give some insights on this?
This question is very good question, and I would definitely want to say and share so many things and so many experiences of my life. Um, this yoga journey, first of all, is not an easy journey. It's है ना, ये शूरा का पथ है जिसमें शौर्य की बहुत जरूरत है ना. This is not a red carpet path कि जहाँ पे आपने, and it's not a glamorous path too, कि जहाँ पे आपने चलने से आपको बहुत अच्छा मिलता है, you feel so happy and you keep walking for years together. No, for for time being you will feel happy, but then you start sore body, pains, aches, and then you will feel that no, I don't want to do this. Because this is along with asana practice, you have to inculcate so much discipline in your life. No, and that is not easy, especially in metro cities where there are so many distractions. Always you want to go for nightlife, always you want to go to hotels, you want to eat so much nice food. So all that things you can do it, but with discipline, not always. And basically the times there are the time for sleep, time for having food, and what food you should have, when you should have, everything should be disciplined. And this discipline comes with the knowledge of scriptures. As I said before, if you're practicing just asana, you are showing up on your yoga mat every day and you are just doing asanas, that is also good, but that will not give you that depth which Patanjali Yoga Sutra or yoga, any yogic scripture will give you that strength. That the strength pillar is your scripture, make you so strong to walk on this path along with all the difficulties, with all the distractions, all the challenges. As I said before, that my age was 49 and I was having complete my professional life, my yogic life, my family life, my doctor's life, everything was there. And to complete all the tasks, and I have to travel between two countries also. We were migrated to Toronto, Canada, and we were in India too. So all the emotional challenges, there were so many things. And I would always say कि ये सारा बदलाव जीवन का, और जो भी challenges थे life के, hard, it was tough life to migrate in a different country with the established life here was very difficult. But I would say I was always sailed through this path only with the master's grace, with the practice of Sudarshan Kriya and practice of yoga. Because that made me so much unshakable inside. Atha yoga anusashan. That is the first point, first sutra of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So that is discipline, discipline in now. So I was always practicing that, and along with that, some strength always coming up, and that made me walk on the path. And I could guide those who are new beginners on the path, because many youngsters they came across in my life, they were completely shaken, to walking on the path, so much sattva in them, and they were so much happy with that path, but to survive in the material world, that was not enough. Those skills to balance sattva and rajas was very much needed. And through this practice, sattva was always based, and through that base, the dharma was established in me. And on the top of that, whatever was needed, those skills were coming automatically. And things happen, whatever is needed. You are just doing it effortlessly. You don't have to make efforts all the time. And
But how would you, sorry.
Yeah. Initially, I was not happy with this change, some यहाँ पे India में रहो वापस वहां जाओ, so much changes in climate also. But then the internally अंदर से ही आने लगा कि सब भूमि गोपाल की है ना, क्या फर्क पड़ता है आप कहाँ पर ही हो, आप अंदर से अगर established हो, then everything starts happening.
Correct. So this is the point which I want to understand. There are, I mean, talk about, people who are listening to this. There's so many avid listeners or just followers. As I said, they pick up something, then they lose interest, then they pick up something, then again they lose interest. And this point which you mentioned about establishing yourself from within.
Yeah, just a minute.
I want to understand this. Basically, I want to understand this point is the art of balancing. Can you briefly explain to the viewers of how do you balance your work life? How do you balance your whatever, your meditation or yoga or pranayam or anything that you are doing, to keep your mental well-being or health well-being? How do you balance basically the two aspects, and how do you form that habit? Like, every morning you wake up and that first thing that you will do is brush your teeth.
Yes.
So how do you have this habit inculcated, and how do you establish yourself from within? If you can briefly explain.
Yes, definitely. I would like to explain. See, as you have given the example of brushing your teeth, right? So on that example, I would like to say, when you were a kid, were you happy doing brushing your teeth every day?
No, you would want to skip
me,
it.
If I say about me, I was lazy. My aunt was always used to force me to brush my teeth, kid age, right? But as you grow up, now, does anybody need to force you to brush your teeth?
No.
No, right? Immediately we wake up in the morning, we go to washroom and we brush our teeth. Why? Because we have formed that habit. Here comes the first sutra of anusashan. Sashan, that is rule, somebody else's force on you. Anusashan is self-discipline. Initially, it is difficult, but once you form that habit, it will happen effortlessly, automatically. There is 9 obstacles to the path, and they are Vyadi, Sthana, Sanshaya, Pramada, Alasya, Avirati, Bhranti, Darshan, Alabdha Bhumi Tattva, Anavasti Tattva. So these are only 9 obstacles. They are on the path to yoga or any spiritual path. And these are Alasya and Pramada is basically you have laziness inside you. And sometimes doubt comes in the master, in technique, or on yourself, and sometimes mental or physical illness. And these kind of obstacles, they stop you to walking on the path. And along with that, there are 4 sahabhuvas like dukkha, dormanashya, angame jetva, and shwasa prashwasa. So I would like to just explain on this swasha praswasha. Always when you are doing something, your mind is somewhere else and your breath is somewhere else. So basically, you have to be along with your breath. You have the rhythm along with your breath, the coordination between mind, body, and breath. And if you are in present moment now, you will understand that what is needed and how you can stop all the distractions. What is good for you, what is interesting for you, that will automatically come in you. But these practices are must initially. Once you practice for a few years, even if you can dedicatedly walk on the path, then the rest path is very easy. So again, I will tell that knowledge of scriptures are very much needed, because that is a recipe. If you want to make any good tasty recipe dish, so you need a recipe, right? Okay, यहाँ पे कितने मसाले डालने हैं, कहाँ पे कैसा जोक लगाना है, क्या क्या चीजें आपको चाहिए बनाने के लिए, that is the knowledge of scripture. And then the practical theory, that is asana. With the practice of asana, your body, your DNA starts transforming from within, and you will even not notice that what you were 5 years before. In a good way, the whole your existence will change for good.
So you recommend taking it step by step and not rushing into everything at one go?
Yes,
Just go steadily and then evolve with, your experience of what you are liking, how you are liking it, and
yes.
so that kind of helps you. But there has to be some sort of a dedication towards whatever you do it with.
Short vows. If you will say, if you are a smoker and you will say that I want to quit smoking, so means short vows that 2-3 days or 5 days I will not smoke. One more week, like that, short, you can achieve goals.
So this is something really interesting that you have spoken so far, and I really think it was very insightful for all the viewers who are tuning into this. And we are not too late into 2023, so I think if you can figure out what could be your new year resolutions, and I think one of your knowledgeable discussions that we had on this, you can pick and choose what your resolution should be. And as Dr. Trupti Bhatt just told us, that take it one step at a time, and hopefully you attain that establishment in this year within yourself, which will take you a long way into this journey of evolution. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us that time. We really appreciate all that you have done, and we hope to have many more discussions and taking your experiences into account. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Harit. Thank you.